welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
We're going to be exploring something pretty incredible today.
Yeah.
Something that has the potential to, like, totally revolutionize how we learn.
Yeah, definitely.
We've been looking at a whole bunch of articles, research reports, all pointing to this one really cool idea. Learning is moving beyond, clicks and keyboards and screens.
Yeah.
And becoming something way more natural.
Yes.
And conversational.
It's a fascinating shift.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just talking about, making some small tweaks to online courses or adding like a few new tech features here and there. This is about a really fundamental change in how we interact with knowledge.
Yeah.
And AI is really driving it, artificial intelligence.
Okay, AI in learning. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, though. I'm kind of picturing a robot teacher lecturing me.
Right.
What does that actually look like in practice?
It's not about robots like standing in front of you with a pointer. It's more about how AI can help us take a conversational approach to learning.
Oh.
So instead of, clicking through a bunch of files or scrolling through endless text, imagine you could just ask questions and have the information presented to you in a way that's easy to understand and tailored to you.
So more like a dialogue with the learning material.
Exactly.
Rather than just passively absorbing it.
Yes, exactly.
That's a pretty cool concept. But can you give me like a real-world example?
Of course.
Because honestly, I'm still trying to wrap my head around how this would work for learning about something complex, like cell biology or something.
Absolutely. So one of the sources we looked at highlights the system called Hume.ai.
Okay.
And it's a system that basically lets you control your entire learning experience online.
Wow.
Using just your voice.
Okay.
So imagine a student who is prepping for a bio exam. Instead of, having to flip through pages and pages of a textbook or click through slides.
Right.
Right.
They could just ask Hume.ai.
Okay.
Okay, walk me through the process of cellular respiration. And Hume.ai would then explain it, step by step.
Wow.
Using clear language and visuals that are tailored to that student's level of understanding.
That sounds way more engaging than my old bio textbook.
Yeah.
But isn't that just like a fancy way of making things more convenient?
I mean, there's definitely an element of convenience to it, but it's really about much more than that.
Okay.
It's about changing how we think about knowledge itself. Right now, knowledge is often presented in these static formats, like textbooks, lectures, online courses, things that require a lot of effort to navigate and digest.
Yeah, I definitely relate to that feeling of getting lost in a sea of information.
All right.
Especially when you're trying to learn something new.
Yeah.
It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Exactly. And with conversational learning, that haystack becomes much more manageable.
The AI acts like an intelligent guide. It's able to draw from this massive pool of knowledge and present it to you in a way that's directly relevant to your needs and your questions.
So, like, I could say, hey, can you explain the Krebs cycle to me?
Exactly.
But, like, relate it to something I already understand. Like how a car engine works or something.
Exactly. And the AI could make those connections for you.
Oh, wow.
And help you grasp that concept more easily.
So it's like having a personal tutor.
Yeah.
Who can just instantly tailor the information to your specific learning style and needs. That's amazing.
It is.
It almost sounds too good to be true.
Yeah.
Is this something that we're going to be seeing in classrooms soon? Or is this still like a far-off concept?
It's closer than you might think.
Really?
Another source that we looked at highlights the work of OpenAI.
Okay.
The creators of ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It's that AI chatbot.
Right.
That can write poems and code and basically do anything.
Yeah, it can do a lot.
But how does that fit into learning?
Well, ChatGPT is a great example of how conversational AI is already being used for learning.
Okay.
It's not specifically designed as an educational tool, but people are finding all sorts of creative ways to use it to learn.
Okay.
For example, students are using it to get help with their homework. Researchers are using it to summarize complex academic papers.
Okay.
And professionals are using it to stay up to date on the latest developments in their fields.
Okay, now that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So we've gone from robots lecturing us to AI tutors that can explain complex concepts in simple terms.
Yes.
And help us learn in a way that feels way more natural.
It is definitely a shift.
This is starting to sound less like science fiction and more like something that could actually transform how we learn.
Absolutely.
And what's even more exciting is that this shift is happening right now.
Yes.
It's not some distant future scenario.
It's happening now.
The tools are already out there.
They are.
And people are finding creative ways to use them to learn more effectively. That sounds like a completely different way of approaching education.
It is.
But isn't that a pretty daunting task
Yeah.
for institutions that are often slow to change and resistant to new technologies?
It definitely presents a challenge, but it also presents an incredible opportunity.
Okay.
The institutions that are willing to embrace this change and experiment with new models of learning will be the ones that thrive in this new era.
So it's about being proactive, not reactive.
Exactly.
It's about anticipating the future of learning and taking steps to shape it rather than waiting for it to happen to us.
Absolutely. And one of the most important steps institutions can take is to start investing in the development of high-quality conversational AI systems that are specifically designed for education.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But developing those systems
Right.
would require a significant investment of resources and expertise.
It would, but it's an investment that will pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
By creating AI systems that can truly personalize the learning experience, institutions can empower students to learn more effectively, efficiently, and enjoyably.
This all sounds incredibly exciting.
It is.
But I also imagine it raises a whole host of new questions and challenges.
Of course.
For example, how do we ensure that these AI systems are providing accurate and unbiased information?
Right.
How do we prevent them from being used to reinforce existing inequalities in education?
Those are all valid concerns, and they're exactly the kinds of questions that we need to be asking as we move forward with this technology.
It feels like we're on the verge of like a massive shift in education.
Yeah, it's a really interesting time.
It's honestly kind of daunting to think about how much could change.
It's definitely a time of great transformation, but it's also a time of incredible opportunity. If we approach these advancements thoughtfully and responsibly, conversational AI could make education more accessible, engaging, and effective for everyone.
So for someone listening to all this, like, what's the first step they could take to kind of explore this new world of conversational learning?
Well, the great thing is that this technology is becoming increasingly accessible.
Okay.
So one simple step anyone can take is to experiment with a conversational AI tool.
Okay.
Like ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah. We talked about ChatGPT earlier, but what would someone actually do with it?
Yeah. So think of a topic that you're interested in learning about, maybe something you've always wanted to understand, but you've never really had the time or resources to explore.
Yeah.
Type a question about that topic into ChatGPT.
Okay.
And see how it responds.
Okay.
You might be surprised by how much information it can provide and how it can tailor its explanations to your level of understanding.
So instead of just passively reading about a topic, you're engaging in like a dialogue with this AI system, asking questions and getting personalized responses.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
It is a different way to learn.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive.
I'm glad to hear that.
I feel like I've gone from being a little intimidated by AI to being like genuinely excited about the possibilities it holds for the future of learning.
It's an exciting time to be involved in education.
Yeah.
We're witnessing a fundamental shift in how we access and engage with knowledge, and it really has the potential to benefit everyone.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one key takeaway you would want to leave our listeners with?
Don't just observe the shift, get involved.
Okay.
Experiment with the tools, ask questions, challenge assumptions.
Yeah.
And be a part of shaping this new era of learning.
That's a great call to action. So to our listeners, we encourage you to dive in, explore the world of conversational learning, and see how it can transform your own learning journey.
The future of learning is here, and it's conversational.
Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into the future of learning.
It was my pleasure.
Until next time, stay curious.